Because he remained in Germany after the war. He came back to his village. I think he was from Marseille in Provence. When he came back, he didn't find anybody. He went back to Germany to make a living.
In my family, only my grandmother. She was the only one left in Cookship. The two sons got away. My father's brothers. There were three brothers in South Africa.
The deal was that they wouldn't attack each other. But in June of 1941, Germany decided to attack Russia. And when they attacked Russia, they swept through the Baltic states within days, maybe a week.
It is Wednesday, the 27th of August, 10 a.m. in the morning, and here we are at the very entrance to Kupiskis, and our entire team is lined up in front of the name, where we've just about entered the very beginning of the city. And our guide, Regina, is preparing for the group photograph. These are the mayor, family, Alec, Norman, Bays or Bella, Eva,
I'm making pictures.
and
Blooming dials. That's it.
You got that?
Yeah.
they are the core group of the
Now we have the
Kupachikas.
kids.
Okay, Orna comes inside. Orna, בסדר גמור.
Okay, come in. Shame, zegt de ruigafse.
It's okay, we'll have on our own, it's all right.
Some of us have lived with the Mayas for 37 years are out of it.
Okay, I
Let
see
us
you
come
all.
closer.
Look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me.
Hey, leave mommy alone. You want
It's
to-
still filming your camera.
They're still full.
We have just entered the city hall of Kupachik, where we have a meeting scheduled with the mayor. We are now meeting with the mayor.
He's got blue hair.
Labą dieną pirmiausia. Su kuriais sveikinamės. Aš esu pareigos pristatyk pats.
Kultūros ministerijos kultūros vertybių apsaugos departamento Panevėžio teritorinio padalinio vadovo pavaduotojas.
To say quickly, this man represents the authority of the cultural ministry for the Ponevezh district. Kaip jūsų pavardė, atsiprašau?
Kazys Stančikas.
It's Mr. Kazys Stančikas.
Nu ir visi turbūt, o čia
Lenkija.
yra mūsų, kuriai vadovauja Vilija Morkūnaitė.
Those are people from our local TV.
Oh.
Oh, I bet it's my head. We'll be still in Lithuania. The broadcasting of our local Kupiškis program is on Wednesday from 19 and also on Sunday.
Jeigu jūs čia per jūsų 8 žmonės.
In this list there are 808 last names, people.
Vien tik tai Kupiškėnų.
Only from Kupiškis.
Ten Subačiai, kur jie buvo sušaudyti, ten yra visai kita vieta, kitoje vietoje. Čia tik tai kur šitose kapinėse.
It's the list for the people who were shot. Next to there is a Christian cemetery. So this is the list for those people who were shot here. there is another massacre place in Subachi. We have no list for those people.
Jeigu klausimų yra.
Do you have questions?
Nuotraukų neturim.
They have no pictures. The question was about pictures. They have no.
The situation on behalf of the Kupiškis municipality and the citizens and so forth.
Ponas Meiris jis klausė, praktiškai tai būtų, kada jūs nuveinat į tą vietą holokausto, kada jūs atsimenat žydus čia Kupišky?
Čia yra pastoviai tos vietos yra prižiūrimos, jūs galėsit pamatyti, jos yra prižiūrimos, tvarkomos pastoviai yra.
23, taip?
Ką pavyko išdėti?
23 ir birželio 14, Minties ir Gedulo dieną irgi.
Aha. The answer is that it's on the Shoah Day, on the Holocaust Day of Lithuania, on the 23rd of September. They are visiting this place, and also they have this mourning day, on the 14th of June. They also visit those places on the mourning day.
Anything specific about for the Jewish community, and also whether it's discussed in the educational curriculum of the schools of the Lithuanian academic life?
Ar tas žydų tragedija atsispindima edukacinėse?
Kur mūsų kupiškėnų kitų žmonių yra didelį kiekį, jie bendra tvarka visi yra prisimenami, kaip tos prisimintos, kurias minėjo tomis datomis. Čia ne vien žydai, čia yra lietuvių daug išžudyti ir taip pat irgi buvusių keliose vietose. Taip pat jie prisimenami visi.
Mr. Abshirka said that there are the reminders in our community about the Jews, about also Lithuanians, about the war prisoners who were killed here. Vis tik biškiai apie mokyklą.
Mokyklos yra šitaip, pirmiausia.
I'm asking about the
schools. Yes.
Tas yra programos.
Nu tai kas yra, reiškia yra šitai. Pirmiausia, tai pas mus tuo okupacijos metu sovietmečiu, tai tuos dalykus absoliutiškai nebuvo kreipiamas dėmesys ir praktiškai jūs matysit, ten kapinių yra, kaip sakoma, išlikę tik tai tokie, fragmentai, detalės, buvo nelabai prižiūrimas.
Ir kitos kapinės, todėl, kad čia jau išskirtinai, kaip tik tai žydų tautybės atmintis tokia daugiau atgaivinama.
The cemetery, Jewish cemetery, they were completed as a cemetery, and the monument was the new monument commemorating that it was the Jewish cemetery, and this is the independence site.
Dėl atminimo dar galime priminti ir tą pas mus yra Kupiškyje ir viena gatvė buvusi, vadinasi, Černo Rapolo, tokia čia pačio komunistėlė buvusi gatvė, pavadinta sinagogos gatvė. Gražintas senas pavadinimas gatvės, tai buvo, po to ten dar yra ir grindinys tas pats išlikęs, jau galėsit paitą gatvytę reiškia. Taip, kad mes čia kapinės matysit, yra jos visos sutvarkytos, paminti.
From what we knew, from what our parents told us, they had very interesting, the Jews lived in very insular communities, they were very, it was very tight, not only because of the ghetto, because of their customs and because of their religion, but we got the impression, and from looking at history, that the relationships between the Jews and the Lithuanian people were always good. Has tried to explain some of those feelings. But we have come here in a spirit of fellowship, but we have come here to, as my brother said, to complete the circle. We've come to complete the circle. Our forefathers died here. Many died during the Holocaust. Some of their descendants made lives in other parts of the world, and now we have come to complete the circle, the generations that are left. it says in the Bible, in Ivrit, it says dor le dor, which means from generation to generation, and this is it. This is.
Left the mayor's offices after a long session with him and some of his assistants, especially the head of the museum, where we received lists of over 800 people, which had been compiled by some lady called Stefania, who drew up this list of all those who were killed.
Dr. Fida, one of them was very good friends with my parents.
And from whom she had managed to compile the list based on eyewitness. Here we are now in one of the squares, and we were doing a general pan on our way to a restaurant where we will be having lunch. Kupacik is being revealed before our eyes as a rather pretty city with beautifully tree-lined streets and houses that by some good fortune were not destroyed during the war, and therefore most of the original architectural structures in which the Jews lived are therefore also here and well preserved. At some stage we hope to see also the synagogue. This is a square, and behind the white building is the synagogue, and we're now on our way to viewing it from closer up. This is the shul, and from what we're told, these are the original windows of the Ezrat Nashim, or the balcony part where the women sat. Again, from another angle, is a large building, and it is well retained. Of course, it is not a synagogue anymore. And the people who are accompanying us, that is the director of the museum, plus one other historian whom we met here, know very little except that they can say for certain that this was the Moshava Kehila, or the Vada Kehila, which was the headquarters of all the Jewish communal activities of Kopiskis and its surroundings. For example, Samonsa, here Pearl's father got certification of the fact that he was indeed Israel Horetz and born on the 15th of February 1905. This is the synagogue from the third side, completing all four sides. The first side I shot from where the square was, and that was through the trees. Didn't have any complete confirmation and proof of the fact that this was the street in which the synagogue was, Here we are in a little street adjacent to the synagogue we've just left, and we see the name to this day is Synagogue Street, even though from what we are told it was only named such in 1990. And now we are told that it was once before the Synagogue Street changed and now went back to its original name. It seems that the Lithuanians are definitely trying to do something to in retribution of what went on here. We have already learned that many of the memorial monuments that were put up mainly by the Soviets, in which all the murdered people were referred to as Soviet citizens, have all been changed, and Jews are specifically mentioned in their correct numbers, sometimes less than what the Soviets had written purely for propaganda purposes and not because they were necessarily accurate. Wherever you go, the church steeples loom large all over the city, and this is probably one of their masterpieces, which I am shooting from Synagogue Street. This little old lady came out of her house with this basket and was offering me apples, which was very sweet of her. This is the continuation of Synagogue Street.
Of what the marketplace looked like in 1932.
Yeah, but where? No, man. There's a bunch of those houses.
In museum they have few.
I have a whole bunch for man. To Winovitz. She sent me
the marketplace.
Christ, the whole of Kupchik, man. I don't know if there's one specific one. 60, 70.
It means the wheel of, if you are playing cards, it's such a red. Bricks which were made over here locally, and those from the side, the white bricks, were purposely brought from the Kaunas, from the new plant. Those white big bricks, they are from Soviet times. This was Soviet time, from Soviet time. The small areas. Yes, but it used to be Jewish primary gymnasium, primary school, and then they went to the general.
And this was the primary school, and this only Jews went. The senior school, the high school, was mixed for Jews and Lithuanians.
Mr. Alberta said that it was many Jews who went to gymnasium.
Mill of Schmidt, one of the wealthiest men in the town. The beautiful center town square was once the marketplace, and is the same size as it was when it was the market. And here is a hotel which was a Jewish-owned hotel, and now is still a hotel, but of course, as there are no Jews in Kopiskis, they're said not owned today by a Jew. Lady worked for Alec and Norman's family. And she's going to show us where the mayor of its store was.
All right, let's see the place where they show.
Пародики, kur you now?
I want to.
How old is she, Regina?
77?
And it was the street in front of those houses. Ir Miravičiaus buvo čia. O čia Mirošiaus buvo parduotuvė čia. Parodykite, kaip I pakovai here. Now on the street.
She says that.
I saw the last time. Yes. Čia 3 ir ten 1. He saw this. From the belfry of the
church.
From the belfry of the church. He was the teenager, and they just went to the belfry. Just
watch.
Yes, just it was like a playing for them, and they saw it. They saw also this kids, which were much. And he told me the story that there was one child who it used to be such a bridge over the river, and one child escaped, and he was captured and brought back. Aš sutikau vieną poną, kuris irgi matė visą tos vaikus. Jis buvo vaikas pats, buvo vaikėzas. Jie buvo bažnyčios šitą į bokštą, į lytą. Ir sako, kad buvo vienas vaikutis, kuris užbėgo už tiltelio, kažkur ten buvo tiltelis ir pasislėpęs. Ir jį sučiupo vėl. Čia yra. Who is fishing? The kids were killed after the adults were killed. The kids were killed after adults were killed. Adults were brought there with the drugs. A jūs atsimenat tuos sunkvežimius? Which the road from the church was seen from here. I was living here. My house was over here. And there were no trees. It was empty. It was just brand new. Brand new cemetery.
Ir va, čia šičių va palei šitų, va kaip užtverta tvorų šitoje pusėje, va čia visi pakaimiai. Čia jūs kai nuvažiuosite, tai yra paminklas didelis parašytas.
You will see there this memorial over there.
Ir tenai duobės 3 iškastos didelis.
There were 3 pits over there.
Ir visus ten sušaudė. Kiek jau čia dalyko jau. Tik kur išbėgo, tai išbėgo, kitus.
Those who managed to escape survived, and those who stayed here, all of them, they were killed.
This is the graveyard which we saw from across the road, pointed out by Veronica, where she had viewed the mass killings of the Jews, and especially the children. And here, although this was not a Jewish graveyard, it was an atheist graveyard established in 1939. It was intentional that they had such lack of respect that they, as an act of demonstration to humiliate, they shot and buried the Jews in an atheist graveyard.
1,000. Fan, do you want to distribute these? Thanks. How many, what does it say?
Approximately 1,000.
I'm not going to move one stick to the left.
Let me just get out the matches.
But you did it for me, thanks.
Are we all here, Kevin?
He's all the atheists, right?
Have you people heard about 1917?
It's in the book.
No, it's in the book, but in terms of the concept.
Yeah,
it's but we have the concept in Judaism. You have a second?
Yeah, I want this document.
I think that is in the open display. It's the tombstones which they found here, which were overground, and they put them into the order, and the tombstone commemoration stone was built here.
They have no connection to the actual grave.
No.
They just found them and put them up here as a symbolic.
Exactly.
Yes.
The original.
Yeah.
And there is the tombstone for commemoration of the coming. There is very small part of there
The church looms large as always in the background over the entire city. And here is the This is another witness, person who can tell firsthand of the events that took place in the life of the Jews before the war in Kupiskis, where Alec and Norman May's parents were from, and grandparents, as well as part of Mervyn Shapiro's family, and of course Bill's parents were, Bill's father's parents were in an adjacent village called Shimonis.
Gal jūs
labai sugyvenom su daugeliu gyvėjų, kai mums labai gaila.
She said that gyveno ir dabar nieko iš jų nebeliko, jai labai liūdna.
She said that nobody left over here. Nobody left.
Tai kiek nesugyvensi, jie turėjo restoranų.
The Jews had restaurants.
Vadindavo išėriko bendrai.
They invited
Labai.
Su jais ir bendrai su kitais. Tai jūs užvažiuodavot, jūs kaip?
Oi,
Arklį pastatyti, ne kiemį, taip?
Visą ten
Sakykite. Ten pirkdavo pas juos.
To put their horse wagons when we came to buy.
Aš matė papsitėnę, jūs manyti, tai iš to į manimi važdavo, tenai atsisės pasisakymą.
Aha, specialiai turėjo tokį svečiam kambarėlį. To eidavo pasilsėti.
Special room.
These people are living in very poverty-stricken conditions, with no sanitation, it seems no running water because there's a well, chickens, cats, dogs roaming the farmstead or courtyard or whatever this happens to be. A couple we are interviewing are well on into their 90s maybe, and
The sun was very strong. Ar ne šita?
That was really strong. That could be our mud head. That could even use the staircase.
Kažkokie čia tai jau labai susiminėjo.
O jisai nuo pat jaunumės čia įsisulaikė.
Jų buvo
Well, that's the family.
va čia pirktas
And this is
toliau namai.
This is the other family.
Čia pirktas, žiemas pirktas, kalnai yra.
Ar tokia šeimos čia?
This is the town of Kupiskis, what I believe to be from its outer parameters, partly urban, partly rural, train running in the background, as we are now in a small deserted homestead of an elderly couple who remembered the period of the Jewish life in Kupiskis or Kupichik, and especially the families of Majerovich, Alec and Norman. We are now on the way to Shimonis, or Shimonsa as it was known by the Jews, and this is the home of the mother of the mayor of Kupich.
Even to his mother.
Once again, most picturesque and beautiful area with lots of apple trees and pear trees heavily laden with fruit, and really a most beautiful area. One could understand how it is that the Jews of Lithuania wanted to settle in a place like the Western Cape, because in terms of greenery and water and sheer beauty, I suppose there is a definite resemblance. We are now in search of an 81-year-old lady who evidently was familiar with the Jewish community of Shimonis, and this is her farmstead here, and we're just going to find out if she's available to be spoken to.
Tik parapija Šimonių. Parapija, tik mano, tai bažnyčia mano. O jūs į bažnyčią vaikščiojate? Nu, kai kada per kermašius nuveža sūnus, kokie šlubadino. Ar jūs negalėtumėt su mumis pavažiuoti? Į Šimonis? Taip. O ką mes tai pamatysim? Žiūrėkit, mes turim ponę tokią, jos vardas Perl. Ir jinai turėjo į savo senelį, kuris buvo užmuštas Šimonyse. Laukit, Dieve mano, taigi gryčios dabar tos nebėra. Napolka mažiau. Ne. Ne Napolka. Oi, Dieve, pastumdėlį. And the first name? Icik. Dieve, dar vieną žydautytę buvo ten jau už mokyklos, Dieve mano. O Iciko neatsimenat? No, nežinau, kokia ta... Peretz was my grandfather. Dieve mano. Icik Horitz. Pavardė Horicas. Gali būti, aš šitą žinau, kad Naftalkas buvo dar. O tik anam gali miesto. Žinau, buvo žydautytė jauna ir jį perėjo į krikščionis, kad jos nenušautų Vokietijos fašistas.
I am shooting.
Proč jsi zmigla?
Where's the zoo?
It's right next to your finger. There's nothing to do. It's the one hand operates all.
Okay.
It's very good.
Phil.
Okay.
How many people are you going to have on the horse?
Okay, you give me a camera.
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay, don't come into the incident.
Ale, stunk van rood pale ale.
You
Now we're in the center of Simonis, and what we see here, of course, is the predominance of the church, as always, and it's a small village with about 500 inhabitants at the present time, and I imagine that even at its height it couldn't have numbered much more than this.
I was born in 1920 in Shimonis. Where is this young Vashitasva? Istitas turėjo parduotuvę Šimonise. He had a shop.
We're asking people at random whether it's just possible that they knew the Charutz family.
Čia gaspadorių šito Baltanoko, ne?
Ne.
Tai jūs sakė, žmona Kalšino papriedžiūrė. Dar Pavaliūnai, tai jūs sakė.
He was born. After he was born.
Yeah, but the grandfather was killed
Ar neteko girdėti tokios istorijos, kad chuliganai vieną žydą prekybininką užmušė?
Šimonys?
Taip. Neteko.
Nepasakoja, neteko. O mano atveju ne visai taip.
Not on my memory, he said, and my parents didn't speak about it.
Kelintų tamstą gimimo? 20.
Icka, o kokius jis vaikus turėjo?
Proskandų dukterys buvo.
Two daughters probably he had.
Dukterys dvi.
O koks čia buvo, kaip aš čia gyvena namie Tumo?
Naftolka.
Naftolka. She remembers Naftolka, but he told by himself. I asked him before, but he didn't remember, but he told by himself. Two daughters? That's right? Okay. O maždaug kokio amžiaus jas buvo? Irškė? Šimot יהודיות. של יהודים. הוא זוכר. Haimka, Naftolka, Icka, Rapolka, Ilka, Zelman, but once more.
Tam stavietinis, laba diena. Žydus prisimenat?
Lapienės vietoje, pameni, koks čia gyvena, kur dabar Lapienės pavardė? Ir Juozas.
Ne pavardės, o vardas.
Kaima gyvena, paskui gyvena, neatrodo, ten kažkaip Ilka nesigyvena.
Čia ponas Kazys Stančikas.
Oi, ne Stančikas.
Tai kad čia kaip pažįstamų nėra. A jūs taip pat pažiūrėkit.
Kelintų tamstos gimimo?
Aš 20-15.
She was born in 1915 and she was born in 1920.
Nu tai jūs pasakykit, čia šimoniečių yra ar nėra?
Yra.
15, Naptalkiokų nėra?
Naptalkiokų nėra. Naptalkiokų nėra.
Nu tai jūs galit pasakyti, kokių daugiau, kad čia mes nepažįstame.
A jūs pasakykit, kuriuos jūs atsimenat.
Naptalkiokus.
Naptalkė. Dar kokius?
Ar tebe ir Vilnius?
Kaip pavardėjų?
Naptalkiokai viskas.
Čia matot,
ne Razinkovičiai?
Razinkovič, taip. Razinkovič. It's supposed to be family from Šimonis in Vilnius. This is the descendant of Naftolkė.
Vertėjo, jie nemoka lietuviškai.
Ne vienas.
Čia svečiai, ne vienas lietuviškai nemoka.
Ne vienas.
Taigi va vertėjai.
Which means the son of Teris.
Tai tas atsitraukė į Kauną. Jis nepriklausys.
Nieko, mes čia visi. Tai va čia toks Peričkas, Peričkos sūnus, ne? Bet Icka jo vardas buvo.
Icka. Oi, tai mes nebeprisimename. Tai čia visi žydeliai.
Čia visi žydeliai. Čia yra jos va tėvas. Čia jie visi išvažiavo į Pietų Afriką, tik tai šitas vyresnis brolis paliko. Tas Pericas, jų tėvas, mato, čia yra motina ir visi vaikai. 8 children, yes? 8 children. Čia yra motina ir visi vaikai. Todėl motina yra viena, nes tėvas buvo užmuštas. Kažkokie huliganai jo parduotuvę įdėjo ir užėjo tą Pericą užmušė. Jie paliko, jinai paliko našlė, jie visi išvažiavo į Pietų Afriką. Čia jinai, jo dukra, va šito va dukra, kuri iš Pietų Afrikos sugrįžo. Šitą,
He was 42.
Yeah, so he could be fair. Kiek maždaug tam Perickui buvo metų? Maždaug. Na, maždaug.
Apie 40, nereik
Nu,
klausti.
maždaug, kiek jam buvo metų?
30 ar 40 lygiai žinai.
30-40. He says 30-40. He was not very tall.
Oh, that's right.
He was not very tall, but he was energetic.
That's like you.
Brothers are all short.
She's running to Ravičių parduotuvę.
Golden.
She remembers the shop. O ką jis atsimena?
Which shop?
Naftolka.
Ir šiukas buvo. Krautuvį turėjo žydėlį.
Ir šiuka.
Irgi man.
Tai matai, va, aš jums pasakysiu, Naftolkos buvo du kiemus. Vienas Naftolkos, kur buvo Naftolkiokai. Du aš jums ir pasakysiu, stebuklus į mūsų.
No, she was just putting a corset on it.
Reiškia, Marija 40 metais Šimonys iš bažnyčių. Ir vienas Naftolkiokas matė Marijų.
O visi katalikai matė Mariją, taip?
Ne visi, bet kai kurie iš viso nebežinau kelių.
It was a miracle. This lady also was
Ir
talking
tokia
about this.
Naftolkytė buvo kita.
And she was talking that it was a miracle that Maria appeared in Shimonis. And it was one son of Naftolki and one daughter of Naftolki. She was talking to me. Who saw this Maria? The mother of Yeshua. It was a miracle. Mums tas seniūnas jūsų, ponas Juozas. Taip, Juozas? Kaip jo vardas? Juozas Keršulis. Juozas Keršulis, jis pasakė, kad to žmogaus buvo vardas Icka. Kur galia...
Don't come so close to me.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
You can see into them. Yeah, look. And look.
Minister Shechianu.
Just come and look at this apple. When you shine it up, you can see it.
So hold it up, then I'll see. Where are you holding it, for goodness sake?
You can see into
Say what it's the
You
significance.
can see this is the apples my father used to tell me about, that if you shone them up, you could see into them. Enough.
We are now in Ponivesh, and we are viewing a wall that has been built recently. And here you can see one of the stones used, and there are many in the wall, were from old Jewish gravestones with Hebrew inscriptions clearly viewable on the stone. We are now on Thursday, the 28th of August, and we've left our hotel, and we're doing a walking tour of Ponivej, which was a major center of Jewish learning with some very famous rabbis and yeshivot. And we are at a spot where there was once a synagogue in this building. This was the Jewish gymnasia or Jewish day school, and now serving as the court.
Yes. In which year your father was studying here?
In about 1920, 21, 22, 24.
Ar jūs kartais nežinot, nuo kelintų metų čia buvo gimnazija? Aš manau, I think that here gymnasium was only from 1933. I must check, so probably it was not here. Not here. Yes, it was. Jo tėvas Panevėžio gimnazijoje žydų mokėsi 20 metais.
Gali būti. Čia nuo Lietuvos nepriklausomybės susikūrimo. Maždaug nuo 20 kokių metų.
It could be also from 25. I'm not confused. We can find it in one brochure about Ponevėž. Labai sad. It was Ponevėž yeshiva. And it was, I can tell you how many are in the mass graves. In the mass grave it's 10,000 Jews.
From Ponevėž?
Yes, from Ponevėž.
This was a seat of learning.
Yes, it was quite a big Jewish community.
This was
quite
the central...
quite proper Jewish community. And
it was church as well.
With three big communities.
10,000 Jews in the
The back of
mass grave.
Regina is where the synagogue was.
And Ponevėž.
And
That's
this is another shot of the gymnasia, which now is the courtroom.
You know, the kids with them now, with a pretty little decoration around the windows.
Yes.
Okay. Collecting, they were pushing him while not starting to build. They were pushing him, and he really collected. He was even in South Africa, as far as I know. I know because Mendel.
Everybody who wanted to collect money came to South Africa.
Mendel Kaplan's grandmother was his mother and grandmother. They were his host in South Africa, and. So he really collected enough sum to build a ship. His wife was also a very nice lady. She made this yeshiva looking very nicely. She took care as mother about those boys. She put flowers inside. She tried to make food proper. So they managed to make it into the biggest yeshiva in Ponevėž, in Israel, as I know. Thousand
Yeah, the Ponevėž yeshiva, right?
Thousand yeshiva buildings. Yeah?
I think more. The sounds I'm making sounds like a million.
Are you living here to them?
Everybody lives next to it.
It's now used for the bakery. The building of Ponevėž yeshiva.
Now, but when you said that he was collecting money to come back, to come and rebuild.
Yes.
So already there was an existing yeshiva.
Yes.
A wooden building.
No, it was this building.
They haven't given the Jews a communal place.
Yes.
There's no synagogue here.
The Jewish community here has no even room. They got a room from the secondary school where director says, welcome to the Jews.
Do they want to have a Jewish life history, the Jewish people? Do they want to have a Jewish community?
Of course we have to have at least a room to meet each other for the holiday.
Plus they took enough buildings from us.
They do not need the building because they have no money to
maintain it.
Yes, but at least a room.
But you say that
the Jewish community leader here is Mr. Feinblum. He's an old man. He graduated from the Schwab Gymnasium in Kovna. Yes, he is an educated person, but
in 41, 50% of this town was Jewish.
So she's making a point.
No,
ironic.
I think that it's
not even a
less. I think that it's less than 50%. I think that it was 30%. But the industry was in Jewish hands. That's no question about it. Okay? Hazen. No, Hazen. It was his last name was Hazen, and they were in time to escape in 1940. It was Rubinstein brothers. To Rubinstein brothers belonged very big mill. It was a soap factory, which also was in Jewish hands. It was a lot of intelligentsia, very good lawyers.
This is the municipal
The family I
building,
met,
City Hall, and
the last name was
this was the original City Hall, and this was a Jewish-owned
living from here,
building
very good doctor.
by the name, the owners were Chazan.
Please, you watch this second house. You see the tables of law on the top?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? So I know, this is street of Vilkamir, Ukmerke, Vilkamir. I know that on Vilkamir 2, it was Jewish bank. I am not sure, probably it was this building, but it was for sure something that was connected with it. Yes? Yes, could be something. Yes, with the table of law. It was Jewish street.
This was a building founded in 1880 by Nathan Feigenbaum, and it was a shop and
We
printing
are
press.
standing on the corner of the street of, which is called after
Famous
Meras.
artist.
Meras. Meras was a famous doctor.
The one with the skin, the extra
July 7th until August 17th, on this territory, the map is over here, it was a Jewish ghetto. We are staying on the street of Krypedos.
How did the ghetto go down?
Street of Krypedos.
Oh, I see.
The ghetto was right here.
How did they close it in? With barbed wire?
With a fence.
With a fence.
Here was the commandant. Here was the house of commandant. Here in the center was the street of joint. Street of joint.
Anybody got matches?
Joint donated money.
Pardon? Give me some matches.
Joint in 20s, 30s donated money for the poor Jews of Polish. And they put
Stopped in a town called Kadaina. It is on the way to Kaunas or Kovna, and here we are at an original part of what was a Jewish shtetl, where it is said that the Vilna of Gaon, Gaon of Vilna was sent at aged 6 to study, and taught by some famous rabbi whose daughter he eventually married, and here he lived till the age of 18, and even the street is named the Jew Street.
Kidan. Here is a synagogue. Look over here. There is a synagogue, yellow one. There is one millionaire from Paris, Kaplan also.
That's not mine.
And he donated money to Kaplan from Paris. Let's go to walk a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go.
This way, Ron.
We are going here.
That's a Jewish street.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon? Ruba? Second-hand schmattes.
Yeah, the boys are playing clubbies on the right, and that's what they did in the evening, were buying property.
wife, I'm taking him always to give tours, so I know this. It was a header.
Labą dieną.
Labą dieną.
A iš kur čia?
Ačiū. Iš visų šalių.
Rimtai?
Aha.
Labai malonu.
Ačiū.
Kaip mūsų kraštas?
Patinka labai.
Dažniau atvažiuoju.
Labai patinka, labai gražu. Jeigu tokia Palestina būtų, tai mes visus matytume.
Jo, labai ačiū.
Okay, very Canadian.
I'm telling that you like our country.
Architecture monument in the city. It used to be very important for Žemaitija. As Biržai was one of the capitals of Žemaitija, and just two even marketplaces. The marketplace over here with synagogue at old, and over here it's new.
Our children are coming to study Hebrew, history, and other matters. We have Maccabi Sport Club.
How many kids come? I'm sorry.
About 35.
And the ages?
Ages from 3 till 14.
Also spent Hebrew when I was 3 years old.
And we have a sport club Maccabi. It's about 40 people. It's from 16 till 44. And we are playing basketball or football. You are calling it soccer.
Soccer.
We have good relation with different international organizations. For example, American Television Committee, which has an office in Paris.
And it's the joint.
Joint. And with American, Lithuanian, Jewish organizations. We are supporting for us few programs for lonely ambulance program. It means we have a minibus and we have a staff who are going to visit and to help lonely people, who is ill and lonely. So our community has future is not so clear because more than half of these persons are retired, over 55. So it means that the number of Jews here is getting less every month. Every month, 1-2 families is leaving to Vilnius, not Vilnius, to Israel or to USA. It depends where people have relatives or children on different systems. So how many do you number today? We have about 690. Maybe about 80 we have not registered. People who are not coming to community and who today we are not participating in different other events.
And what percentage is over the age of 55, you say?
Sorry?
What percentage of the 690?
It's about 55%, western part of Lithuania. Tel Yeshiva, if you know.
We have it in the entrance to Jerusalem when you come in on the left-hand side.
Tel Yeshiva. So it's one of the reasons why I cannot say personally, but all Lithuanians were just killed. Because my mother and her three sisters and my grandmother were survived by very good persons who took a great risk. We have some Jews who like to say that the Jew maybe wouldn't took this risk for Lithuania. Of course, I can perceive this just here, all the close people, I consider, not to so my station, and we were in time to the train. Grandfather, he understood what can happen, and
we lived in Kuršienai, it's not far from Telš too, and we escaped to Russia. Of course, my grandmother, father's mother, was very sick after my father's brother was born in May, and mother was very sick after that, and she passed away in Russia because she was very sick and no medical care and bad food. So we stayed, grandfather and 3 kids, alone in Russia. And after grandfather went to the army to fight against the Germans. So my personal experience, all my life I live in Kaunas. Kaunas was the difference from Kaunas from Vilnius, but here is mostly Lithuanians.
So when did your parents come back?
Come back after
the war.
1944, when Germans came out from
driven out.
So I live in Kaunas, and I personally I cannot say what to my family or to other I had problems or something like that, because here is very strong such nationalist city where Lithuanians 90%, and sometimes Lithuanians are more safe when they have a majority. I mean, how to explain? In Vilnius, we had different nations: Russians, Poles, and they are not a majority sometimes, and there are tensions between. I do not know. I had no problems in my school or university. Or
where did you go? You went to school in Kaunas?
Yes, in Kaunas.
And what did you study? What are you by profession?
I graduated in mechanical engineering.
And what do you do for a living today?
I am working for Lithuanian-Swedish joint venture, Pentagon. I am trade manager, sales manager. So.
And your father, what did he do when he came back to Kaunas?
He landed after he worked as a lorry driver.
Is he alive today?
Yes.
And your mother as well?
No, my mother passed away 6 months ago.
Brothers and sisters you have?
No, I haven't.
Are you married?
Not yet.
Oh, feel it's a good life here?
You know,
on a daily basis?
Well, yes, it depends. It depends on different things.
Have you been abroad?
Yes.
To Israel?
Yes, I was 8 years ago. I was in Israel. Last October I was in USA. I was in Holland, in Italy, in Sweden a few times.
Do you think there's a future?
Are the Lithuanians worried about the fact that Jews may, either through Israel or pressures of American Jewry, try to reclaim some of the property that they held here, not for individuals necessarily, but for the community?
Of course, we have had discussions, because today we have just a law about a religious building which belonged to a religious organization, synagogues or yeshivot and so on. There is not a law about public institutions, schools, hospitals, and pensions.
What role is the joint playing here in the program?
Programs here, we're supporting part of, we're covering some expenses of Maccabi Club,
We are now in Kovna at the spot of the 9th fort. There were 9 forts of this kind built in earlier times to defend the city of Kaunas, or Kovna as is known to the Jews, and this was the fort which the Germans used as one of the killing places of Jews. Just simply a place which was convenient and easy for them to bring the Jews, and
degree, it was called. And it was not a single one like that. The matter is that in this time the tanks were not invented yet. Tanks, you see. So you will see the maps, the old maps, and there are 9 fortifications like that around Vilnius. And it was something like something like tunnel around.
A moat.
Yes,
a moat.
Moat, and it was a big fence. And they are now reconstructed.
Nine like this around town.
It was built because of the threat, because Kaunas was a bordering World War I. It was conquered by Germans, but it was in use in 1915 when Germans came up.
So this was the border between Prussia and Russia?
It was very close. Yes, it was very close.
So the 9 fortresses go along the border?
No. It's just theoretically, it's probably 80 kilometers, but it was very. There would be somebody who is. I'm a soldier who prevents. I'm a soldier who prevents
the passing.
This is the order of the war minister of Tsarist Russia. You see it signed in 1881 to build a fortification around the cities of Kovna, Grodno, and Asov. Asov is now Poland, Grodno is now Belarus, and here is Kovna. Here is the plan of the city of Kovna, and those are streets of Kovna 100 years ago. How it looked when it was built. You see, it doesn't look like that. And those are the fortifications which were built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. We are in the 9th location. This is about the 9th forest. Those are pictures of the 9th forest. And also you can see here the 4th forest, the 7th forest, which was also the 7th forest was one of the most places in all history of the Holocaust and all history of the war. It was called among the Germans, it was so-called hospital, Begonia. And in this hospital, they killed about 35,000 Russian war prisoners. It just was a mockery. They were killing them in numbers there.
What year was this?
It was 42, 43, also 41. Yes, Russian prisoners on the frontier. 42 must be, until 40. The war broke out between Poland and Germany in 1959. And it was the time when Lithuania was full of Jewish refugees. Among them, there were some Polish Dutch citizens who were educating in Bogotá, I think, yeshiva, and he came up to the Gimara and he asked for the visa, transit visa. He figured out that he must go to some island of Dutch.
Macau.
No, he picked up Curacao. And to go to Curacao, which near the August. And
Curacao.
Yes, Curacao. And he had to go by Japan. He went up to him and asked for the transit visa. The transit visa was issued for him. And he told to the other yeshiva brothers, and they started to come. And this was the reason why he sent a telegram to his foreign affairs, asking the permission to give those transit visas in Malta. The answer he said, no, you must not give them. Yeah, you remember the story. It was, yes, and why? He became really the single anti-fascist of Japan. And he became national hero. And here you can see the journalist, Japanese journalist, who brought to Lithuania the play about Sugihara beads. You cannot imagine, it was so funny. Can you imagine to distinguish Japanese who will play Lithuanians, who will play Japanese, and who will play Jews? Yes? very nice experience. So he became the national leader. Because of that, we can get all those pictures seen. And this is the Edison Run. You can see that this is Abraham Story, and this is the whole Judenreich. This is the front page of the diary of Tori. Elia Hakukim Nosser Ashkenaz, and the cracked postament, and penny which has a weight which is unequilibrium. It's Renes. That's mine. It was somebody who from outside, probably from the pogrom started, as you know, before the Germans gave the orders. It was provoked, of course, by Germans. But this is the pictures from the pogrom, which was held on the 25th of June. Germans came on the 25th, 26th, 41, of the blood, even before. Yes? In the center column, he was an assistant of a very good professor, and when the war started, he left his job. When after the ghetto was found, he left his job, and he went purposely to work in the orphanage of Charlotte, which
Where did they get sheets at that time? Where did they think of it?
They got it. We are all of us are here. All of us, yes?
What?
All of us are here.
I think so.
Okay.
I think I'll be able to photograph this into the sun.
Very difficult.
No way, Just from here, maybe, yeah. From this side. Come here, the sun goes over there.
I'm taking a silhouette shot.
I'm sorry. Regina, what did you say? I missed that.
It was 15 branches.
This
Here, the plant.
Sorry.
No houses here, it goes on forever.
Yeah.
It goes on forever. Gosh, at night they would just all rise up and scream. It would be very good for those who live here. How can they not be ghosts on fields like this?
These were 800
Evra, I think this is a place where we should say Kaddish. Alec?
plus Jews who were brought from the concentration camps and returned to Lithuania and then were killed here at the 9th fort.
Nobody makes a stand. Nina, just tell us about the symbolism of the sculpture.
The symbolism of the sculpture is the pain, the struggle, and hope. That's for the liberation, actually. Hope that it will be never be.
Get it. They get it.
No. He said hi. And it was no, he said
Can I make a picture of you with this hat?
Yeah, just a minute. You should have seen me with a tie, but Beryl got upset, so I took the tie off.
А? Что? У меня часы сегодня остановились. В 2 часа. Так мне не дали, чтобы я знала, сколько времени. Потому что мы еще взрослели. Еще должны посидеть у одной мамы, здесь взрослели. Да, сколько еще? Да, я взрослели, у него мама. Шаг. Да,
are now on our last day, and here we are at the Jewish Museum in Vilna. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, and we are being met here by the museum curator, who especially came out of hospital in order to show us her museum.
Director of the Jewish Museum, Mrs. Rachel Castanyan.
Yeah. You are Israel?
Australia, England, Israel, United States.
South Africans. Ex-South Africans. We're thinking of doing something in Kupishik because we were handed the names of 838, I think, names. 808 survivors. What happened, Kirill? What happened in 1945 or 46? Somebody decided to write down the names of the people that were murdered. And so they gave us a list when we arrived there of 800 and whatever. And then we know that at that stage...
You can give us a copy?
Sure. We'll give you... Has somebody brought it with them this morning?
I've got one in the car.
Okay, we'll give you a copy.
Because we have a Xerox.
Okay.
Yes.
And it is our intention to memorialize those names. In 1941, there were approximately...
All in this list.
All found on that list. So we will memorialize the names, and we will do it over the next year probably, and we will do this with a Kupishka landslide from all over the world where we have connections and whatever. And we will work through you, and we will do something so that the memory continues. But you are the lady that we've come to listen to, not me.
I had just wherever we can, we say this, we say that. It's very hard, believe us. Our life is very, very hard. And as you know, Masha Greenbaum's last book, The Jews of Lithuania, she wrote to me yesterday. I got from her a letter that there will be no Yerushalayim lita anymore. But the memory of that don't have to be extinguished. And that is what you are for. And this is really what we are for. And that is why we are here. And I apologize because I'm waiting for, a very high person from Israel.
No, they're here.
They're here?
These are the high persons.
I've published 9 books, and you can see them there. I think that the main book for today is the list of the prisoners of Vilnius ghetto. Because in 1942, in Lithuania, there was a census. And so they wrote all the names of all Lithuanians and also the Jews in the ghetto. So we found the list. And now we have a project to publish the Shavli list. And we have to research, and also we want to publish the list from Kovno ghetto. And we have published from Vilnius ghetto, the first volume. And we are going to publish the second volume. I came today from a hospital to meet you. Another person is in the hospital. Some others are on vacation. It is such a situation. And we would like to have volunteers, of course, to help. Because I think it's very... If you read the book, and you know that after Nazi destruction, the Soviets, like Zurov, who everybody, yes, he had here a report in the conference. He said the murder of memory and the memory of murder, which is very clearly. The Soviets tried to kill the memory of the murder. So nothing was in curricula, and when the new times came, we started to press the government to reopen the Jewish Museum and to find our place, the place of the Jews in this society, which is our main task. This place was absolutely forgotten, desolated, mutilated, whatever, and filled in with anti-Semitic stereotypes. And nothing about the truth, nothing about history, I don't speak about culture, the input in economics, in Lithuanian independence. There were about 200 thriving Jewish communities in Lithuania, with approximately 240,000 Jews on the eve of the war. And approximately 200,000 of them have been brutally slaughtered and slain in the Holocaust. And this map is the result of research would die, because they were murdered in the places where they lived usually. From the first hours, you can see that in the provinces of Lithuania they were killed on the spot. From the very first hours when the Russians left, the local scum, the local bandits started to murder the Jews and loot their people. Or so easy, or that wouldn't have happened. But it's a big story and not to be discussed here because it's not a scientific conference. Without the places, without the mass murder of Jews in Lithuania, simultaneously the Nazis have organized ghettos in bigger cities, in Vilnius, in Kaunas, in Šiauliai, and in Švenčionys, to isolate and concentrate the Jews. You are going to breath, and what was running out they made them to swallow, and said to imagine that this was honey or milk. Or they would take our 12-year-old girl, bound her to a chair, and say that 6 Germans and 5 Lithuanians would make sex to her, each one twice, and the mother should stand by and see the child not writing. When they assembled and they wrote, Jews, don't go like sheep to the slaughter, take arms and let us fight the Nazis back. These are all holy people of our nation, people who try to resist and organize resistance with bare hands. Sonia Madejska, Sheinbaum, Kaplinsky, Hena Borowska, Chaim Lazar, Kaczerginsky, Leah Rudnitska, the sister of Itzhak Arad, Rushka Korchak, Faitelson, etc., etc. The Nazis have killed the children in one place up to 6 years old. They were not shooting them. They saved bullets, they were just smashing them against the wall. After 6, they were killing them with bullets, like on that photograph or like on other photographs. And we say when children are killed, the future is killed. So Hitler won his war against the Jews in East Europe, but another miracle happened, which is the state of Israel, which we pray for every day. And that is the end of this tour, and if you have questions, you are welcome. I would appreciate if you write in the book what you think about our work, because there are people who say, who needs your museum here? What is it for a museum? Who needs your museum? Leave it, it's not necessary. That is one reason. And the second, as I said, who filmed, who photographed, we live on donations and contributions, and that is the way we move, and that is the way we established exhibitions and published 9 books, which I also offer you to buy if you want to. I have written a small, not a big book about the museum, its tasks, the history of Jews in Lithuania, in short. It costs 28 litas, as well as we have other books here. And please, you are welcome to ask me questions.
We are in front of a sculpture that was done by a Japanese sculptor, Guchi Kitagawa, and was a donation from him to the Jewish community or to the city. And here we have the entrance to the Jewish Museum. A very modest building, but my God, contains the most incredible documentation of those horrendous times that started in 1941 and ended in 1944 with the annihilation of the entire Lithuanian Jewish community.
Jewish theater. It was mostly school theater. And in the same building was a music institute, which had rights of conservatoire, some other institutions. Now this building was specially erected for the school inside the former palace of Count Sarkinsky. The building has 2 courtyards. This is the smallest, but unfortunately the biggest one is closed and theater, it's very difficult to get there. Anyway, when the war went to the ghetto too, up to the street near the shoe, But the street was closed with that wooden fence too. Windows had to be closed first by special wooden, I don't know, plaques or something like that. Later it was bricks. But usually Jews who lived here and there, they could see what is happening through holes in those windows. Now the main problem in the ghetto was food. It was prohibited to take any food inside the ghetto. Rations were very small. And it had two results. One result, official one, was that the Jewish hospital, which usually was near the Kihila, so near the great, in the synagogue courtyard, near the great synagogue, had to be moved outside the city wall, simply because of those diseases. Another thing was that the main thing why Mitnagdim claimed they were fighting against Hasidim, that those kids died because that Hasidim were arrested. It was the same time.
We have the same stories now.
Yeah, we have a gentleman named Kaduri who's the monsters, eh?
Yeah, whenever there's a disaster, it's because of that.
Yeah, right. We have a railway accident, a train accident, right? They go and change all the mezuzot in the buildings.
Yeah. So you know the story. Anyway, no, it was made. It was made before the war, probably because there was a bulk synagogue. But nobody knows the story of this place. You know, I was born here in this town 40 years ago. I knew about existence probably from the beginning, but I didn't know where it's from. Anyway, this is just a sign, but I want to talk about two buildings on that side of the street. Kitchen, which was organized by Zionists. Its director was Shlomo Anton, one of the leaders of Warsaw Uprising later, and embellished that he was very active. Anyway, here, in the 31st of December 1941, in this building was the meeting of in that time, in this place were formed some kind of official groups which went for work. You did not manage to get permission from. It was a fight between SS and German army because those hackers took real workers who really worked for German. So you did not manage to get a decision that those who carried those German documents, special stamps that they were from Warsaw, German group, who came here in '39. Before the war, in this place was the biggest Jewish library in Vilnius, library, which was closed by Russians and became a city library. Number last few words for all those young boys and girls. And went to the Udanet, from the Udanet to the gate. Next day, next morning, Jews who worked in the Gestapo building saw his body. He was dead, probably committed suicide, but nobody knows. He was clever. What's that? Now I'm going to this place too. For fighters and victims of Vilnius ghetto. It was erected on first official day of Shah in Lithuania. 23rd of September now is official commemorating day from 1993. And it was erected on 1993, 23rd of September. Trenches for those oil pipes, near the railroad. All mass killing places were near the railroad. It was very useful thing if they would decide to take people by trains. Now, when killings here were began by Lithuania. Lithuanians killed about 50% July 1941. This work was organized by the 9th Enzats Command. Commander of the Enzats Command was tried after the war, so a lot of details were known. Anyway, this Enzats Command killed about 5,000 men. They didn't kill women and children, only late. He wrote a small diary, very small. Now, everything which they did, they used those things which they found here, bodies. That small notebook you found here too. That notebook now in your possession. And they're just names and dates. Month, this, now, is that